everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are doing a review of the All4Jig puzzle table. Now, All4Jig may be a name that resonates with you because I have already featured their other table on this channel, I think 3 years ago. It's something that I purchased myself. I have loved for the past 3 years. I have really enjoyed it. So I was really excited when they reached out to sponsored this video of their All4Jig puzzle table because it's been something I have been looking at for quite some time. I did end up being able to test it for a while before agreeing to this partnership, and it's exactly what I have been looking for. So I wanted to share with you what it is, what the features are, in case this is something that you have been interested in. I know getting a puzzle table is quite the investment, and it is something that requires a lot of research, so I just wanted to share with you what this one looks like, and I have been using it for a little bit so I can give you my honest opinion. So that's what we're doing here today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we're just gonna get into the puzzle table. Before we get into the features of the puzzle table, I first want to talk about assembly and how it arrived. It arrived in a big, long, flat box, and then inside that box was the box for the puzzle table, so it was really secure. There was a little bit of styrofoam. And since I did record the whole entire thing, I do know exactly how long it took to put together, which was 22 minutes. I think that wasn't too bad considering I was also moving the camera around on occasion. So I feel like the assembly was pretty easy, really straightforward instructions. I love that it had a picture. It also explained what to do as well. But now let's go into the features. First up, we have 4 drawers, similar to the other All4Jig puzzle table that I have. And I took out the other drawers just so you can see the difference in size. They are the same as far as depth goes, but the one for this table are a bit shorter, still plenty of room for what I need, but just something to mention in case you're used to the other one or trying to figure out which one would work best for you. I personally like using one of the drawers as a little shelf. I'll just pull it out halfway and have my tea and remote and maybe the poster for the puzzle on it. I also like that it is on wheels that you can roll around. It does have some locking mechanisms too, so that we can keep it secure. Also, it has a cover and it tilts with 3 different angles. Something that I really appreciate about this brand is that they have been taking a lot of the feedback that I've been giving them. And so on this puzzle table, you can see there's a lot of extra support, which my original puzzle table doesn't have. When I looked at the pictures online, it may seem that they have adjusted that for newer variations of the shorter puzzle table that I have. So I just have always enjoyed them being open to feedback and criticism and just making a better product. I'm actually excited for another product that they have recently launched because our Facebook group was actually some of the people who helped answer their surveys to create this product. So I love that I'm able to show you the final result and what they came up with based off our suggestions. So I love that they are trying to really stand by their products and make better options for us. And based off of our feedback, they've created something that I'm really excited to share with you in a few weeks. But let's go into the puzzle that I'm doing here, which is a Laura Stewart puzzle by Buffalo Games. The image was stunning. But aside from that, let's talk about the puzzle table and my experience while puzzling. First up, let's talk about the puzzle boards. I do like the size of them, and for what I need, it's perfectly fine. Even only using the 3 and using the 4th one as a little shelf, plenty of space for what I need. I love that it is steep, so that way you can have multiple layers of pieces if you want to. It's also easy. The sorting trays in my other puzzle table is some of my favorite features from them, so I love that I have even more to use. And this board is actually for a 1,500 piece puzzle. I have never done a 1,500 piece puzzle on these boards just because for me, I like having the board a little bit larger than the piece size or the puzzle size that I need. That way I have a lot more room to maneuver the pieces and have space to sort by piece shape if I want to. So I like just having the extra space for my puzzle, but I do think that it would work for a standard 1,500 piece puzzle as well. Next up, let's go into the felt backing, which I feel like you'd either love or you may not love so much. I have used 2 different types of puzzle boards, some with felt and some with a microfiber. Both require a little bit of maintenance to keep them pristine and pretty over time, but I do think that the felt works a little bit better as far as longevity. I have a different puzzle board that I have that has microfiber, and I feel like it's already showing signs of wear and it's only about 6 months old. where my puzzle table that has the felt just seems to be lasting longer. I will say it does require maintenance, where sometimes I have to use a lint roller, or sometimes I'll use a little like depiller because it does kind of catch over time. But having a brand new one is so nice. So I love that this one is fresh and brand new and doesn't have any issues. I would just say be wary of brands that are quite dusty, so maybe use a strainer or colander so that way you can get as much puzzle dust off the board as you can before adding the pieces to it, because it can add up over time. But still, after 2 years of my puzzle table use, it still looks pretty good and has barely any issues with it. Another thing to mention about the felt backing is that it does have a grippy texture, and that makes it so that when it's at an angle, the pieces don't slide down and it's really secure. You can have things sorted by piece shape and have no issues. It does make it a little bit tricky sometimes to move large sections by sliding. It definitely is doable, and I don't have really any issues with it, but I do know some people have mentioned that with the other one that I've gotten, or other tables that have a felt backing, is that sometimes it can make it a little tough to move the pieces. I don't have issues with it, but just wanted to mention that. And obviously, as you can see here, if you have like a pile of pieces and you're putting at an angle, they're gonna move, but it in general is really secure, and I like having the felt backing. I also don't mind the green. The green doesn't bother me too much, and it is nice and bright, and I can see all the pieces completely fine. Now, as you can see here, I have the puzzle box over on that makeshift shelf that I made with the drawer, and I do kind of wish there was some way to attach the puzzle box or poster to the board while it's at an angle, because at this point there's no way for you to see the box or poster. Now, if you're someone who doesn't use a box or poster, you're completely fine with this. I think maybe even just me using a clip at the top so that way I can like have it secured to the board while I'm puzzling might be nice, because that little shelf wasn't quite big enough and this is a small box top. So that's just like a little critique to them. It's not really a critique, it's just something I don't see in a puzzle table. So I think that's something I might try in the future. Let me know if you have other suggestions of how to like keep the puzzle box on the table while it's at an angle. When it's flat on the board, that's fine, because I could just like have it there on the table like as is. But it is something that I want to mention because it is one thing that I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And then I have the little table shelf, it works, but I think that's something I want to experiment with going forward. Now, as far as price goes, they retail for $200, but I've seen it as low as $150, depending on sales and coupons. So definitely keep your eye out if it's something that you're interested in trying, because you could possibly get it at a lower price. But I do love having it, and I know this is something I will be having a ton of use with, because I know I have the other one that I use all the time still after 2 years of having it. So I liked all the features. I don't really use the cover outlet often, but it is something to mention in case this is something that you want as far as pets or dust or kids go. So they do have a cover. I do like having it, and I'll definitely keep you posted as I continue to use it and whether or not I think it will hold up over time. But right now, loving it and would definitely recommend. So those are the features of the puzzle table. I will say my favorite thing about it is that it's on wheels and I can like move it wherever in this room. That is not going to be its permanent spot, which is like in the middle of the room. I'm actually rearranging this whole entire space to have better lighting in the winter time. So I love that it's on wheels because I can actually like move it closer to the windows when it's like a dreary day. I also love that it's adjustable, so I can raise it up or down. Definitely will take 2 people to do that, so it is something to mention. I know there are some who have been using walking pads underneath their puzzle table, so that way they can like sort and flip pieces while walking. I have a walking pad, not that coordinated yet, but it definitely is an option for me to do that because I can like lift it up as I need to. Also love that it's tiltable, it makes it easy so that way I don't have to reach over so far. I do like the felt, is something that I have grown to love with the other one. It does require a little bit of maintenance over time. I do love that they have extra supports underneath the board, so that way hopefully it doesn't bow over time and it is really secure. I'll have to keep you updated on that over the time that I have it. And also I just really enjoyed the drawers. They're still nice and deep, they're big enough for what I need, and I like the fact that I can have one open and have like my tea or the box or the remote for the TV like right there next to me and still have the other 3. Like I feel like that's a fun little feature, even though it's definitely a board to have for sorting. I do like how it's just like a little shelf for what I need. So it is something that I really have been enjoying. I'll keep you updated on the progress, and as I continue to review, if anything else changes, I'll let you guys know. But so far, I have been loving it. I've been using it for quite a few puzzles, and it's been so nice to have. I'm excited to have just another option, so that way I can use this table for possibly larger things and still have a place to puzzle, and I can move it around. I'm just really excited to have this in my space. So I just wanted to give you guys the info on that puzzle table. If you are interested, if that's something you're wanting to get, I'll link it down below. Maybe it's a wish list item or a Christmas idea, but I am excited to have it. So that's it for me. Thank you so much to All4Jig for sponsoring this video. I hope this was helpful if this is something you're looking into, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.